Guys, we have an urgent information coming out. A huge, massive explosion happened near Cairo, Egypt. And remember, guys, the US president, he's out there in Egypt too. So let me just pull up some of this information here. Do me a favor, hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. A loud explosion was heard in eastern Cairo in Egypt hours before the Sharm el Sheikh Gaza summit attended by the US president. Witnesses reported a powerful blast and dust clouds. Officials said it was non-malicious, likely from construction or monorail safety test, not an attack. So it was a test. But why would they do this while the president's out there? It's kind of strange here, guys. So we're gonna get to this news. A lot of people are saying this is kind of odd that you guys are doing this while the president's out there. Social media post mention a military base explosion, but authority insists it was a controlled or accidental event under investigation. Something's going on here. Something's going on. They're probably putting this under the rug because the president is out there. They're trying to keep everything like cool and peace. All right, so they don't want this thing to escalate, knowing that the commander is out there. All right, guys. Before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters, a prayer request, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. And for those of you that want to contribute to the channel, we do have the Cash App link and the PayPal link in the comments box and also description box. Thank you again for your support. Your support is what keeps us on air. All right, so I just pulled up the full article here. Massive explosion in Cairo during Gaza summit in Egypt. A massive explosion shook the Egyptian capital, causing windows to shatter. Hold on. I thought this thing was a test. They say this thing was a test, but you got windows already shattered miles away. The blast occurred at a military base in the northern part of the city near Kyiv facility. Something is wrong here. Something is wrong. If this was a test, windows would not be shattering all over the place. I don't know, guys. Leave comments down below. What are your thoughts on this? Look at the picture. A powerful explosion rocked the Egyptian capital on Monday, shattering windows kilometers away from the site. The blast occurred at a military base in the northern part of the city, close to several gov institutions. I don't know. It's kind of strange here, guys. I don't think this was a test. The explosion took place as regional and world leaders were gathering at that region in southern Sinai for a peace summit on the future of the Strip. A huge cloud of smoke was seen rising over Cairo, the largest city in the Mideast and Africa, as rescue and emergency vehicles rushed towards the scene. Hold on. But they say it was only a test. It was only a test. Give me a second here. We were told that, it was only a test. Look at this. Look at this here. Cairo blast linked to monorail test, not attack. So it was only a test. We're going to get to all this here. But we have emergency crews out there, and windows shattered and everything. So it says here, the cause of the explosion remains unclear, but social media users claim it originated from an Egyptian military base located in the northern suburbs of the capital near gov and public buildings. Now, the state-affiliated media outlet in Egypt attempted to downplay the incident, reporting that the smoke came from a construction site. However, residents shared photos and videos showing flames rising from the blast site, saying they had heard a loud, distinct explosion that shattered windows kilometers away. Wow. So the massive explosion reported earlier was not an act of, let me highlight that, but apparently the result of monorail construction or safety testing near the city center. Initial panic spread quickly online as the blast shook parts of Cairo just days before the U.S. Commander-in-Chief expected visit, prompting fears of a targeted strike. Egyptian authority and engineers on site have since clarified that the noise and visible shockwaves came from controlled testing procedures tied to the city's long-delayed Cairo monorail project. Someone said this story makes zero sense. Why in the world would the Cairo Gov need to set off huge explosions to test a monorail project? Someone said it's a weird time for a test, knowing that the commander's out there. Someone is like, it doesn't make any sense. The story does not make any sense. Again, what are your thoughts, guys? Now, give me a second here. There's been some news that's coming out today. We already know about the hostages that were released, the 20, and give me a second here. If you can, share, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I want to see if I can find any more updates here about this explosion, this weird explosion. Wow, look at this. US, Egypt, Qatar, Turkey sign Gaza declaration. So I'm not seeing any more updates of the explosion. It seems like that's all the information here. But I want to bring this up. Look at this here. Look at this. Look at this news. You got some very powerful people there. The US, Egypt, Qatar, and Turkey signed a declaration on Monday as the guarantors of a strip deal aimed at ending 2 years of war. The document is going to spell out rules and regulations and lots of other things, the U.S. commander said before signing, repeating twice to it's going to hold up. Once again, that's a very important news there. Now, the U.S. commander, he was in Holy Land, and he's pushing for a pardon for Benjamin. All right, give me a second here, guys. Um, yeah, it seems like when it comes to the explosion, I'm not seeing any more updates about this explosion, which is a very important news here. Yeah, I'm not seeing much. And stuff like this, they try to keep it under the rug. Um, and thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We do have some more updates here when it comes to the commander signing. Commander signs the deal peace plan after securing freedom of final 20 of the innocents that were released. By stroke of pen, the U.S. Commander-in-Chief formally solidified his Gaza peace plan following the release of 20 of the innocents. The U.S. commander said this took 3,000 years to get to this point. Is going to hold up too. Flanked by world leaders from across the region, the U.S. commander marked what many are calling a turning point in the Mid East history. This took 3,000 years to get to this point. It's going to hold up. We are witnessing a leader that we have never seen before in this empire, the U.S. He's speaking of, things that, that previous leader does not say. 3,000 years is something biblical, all right? And 3,000 years ago, there was, before Christ, there was Babylon, there was King Nebuchadnezzar, there was the Roman Empire, there was some stuff that happened 3,000 years ago. A lot of things, Mid-East chaos. Donna, it's like we just came to this, 3,000 years, and this is where we at, and we bring peace. But Scripture tells us when spoken of peace and safety, or peace and security, that sudden destruction shall follow. Look at this here. Peace. Wow. That's huge. Got some very important people there. Very important people. Here's another one. Pay attention, guys. This is Bible prophecy happening right in front of our faces. So, world leaders pose with the U.S. commander after historic deal. After each leader in Egypt lined up to greet the U.S. commander one by one, they joined him for a group photo, marking a milestone moment. The U.S. commander said, "We just made a big deal today, so we'll smile. Biggest ever. A defining image, Peace 2025, and a summit the world won't forget." I think this is happening in Egypt right now. So the U.S. commander working the room like a global deal maker. So the U.S. command, excuse me, the U.S. Commander greeted palace leader Abbas with a smile. They discussed the freshly signed of the Strip peace deal. Then came the photo ops. He points at a UAE officials. A lot of cash. Unlimited cash. Turns to Erdogan, that's the leader of Turkey. You know how tough this man is. I like him. And on Aliyev, the U.S. commander laughs. You don't want him as an enemy. Okay. Diplomacy. It says here the U.S. commander style. Part peace summit, part reality show. Wow. He's a very busy man, I'll tell you that. Even European leaders are out there. Give me a second here. European leaders meet U.S. commander at Egypt Peace Summit. The U.S. commander met with top European leaders, including Orban, Macron, Meloni, and Merz. He's probably, again, Donna's like, man, I seen you guys 2 weeks ago. I'm tired of seeing your face. I'm kidding, guys. Alright, so this is happening in Egypt. It marked Orban's first meeting with the U.S. commander since his re-election. Orban congratulated the U.S. commander for achieving peace in the Mid-East and expressed hope his efforts in Ukraine will bring that war to an end as well. Alright. All these information will be shared on my Twitter page. Alright, so I'm still looking for some of the updates of the explosion, but yeah, we're not getting much information. That's gonna be all of it. But again, this is where we at right now, guys. There's some very, very important leaders out there in Egypt, and they're talking about peace. I'm sorry, give me a second here, guys. Okay, so it says here, Italian Prime Minister just met with the U.S. commander. You could tell from her face, she's like, oh man, not you again. Okay. Alright, so it seems like it's looking pretty good out there in Egypt. There is a live updates going on right now, guys. There's a live updates going on right now. I'm sharing all this information on my Twitter page. Once again, the U.S. commander speak at Mid-East Peace Summit. Yeah, so he's out there. Oh, you have the Prime Minister of UK. You have Starmer on the right. Wow, so there's a lot of people out there. Very, very important people out there. Alright, so again, this is where we at right now, guys. I will keep it updated when it comes to nations and empires and kingdoms that's related to Bible prophecy. So again, I will keep you updated with all this news. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.